Yeah, I'll always be a metalhead. Nothing can take that away from me.
Right.
I mean, not jail, not people, not religion, not anything. I'll always be a metalhead, 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 all right.
You're listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast.
Sacramento symphonic power metal band Graveshadow emerged back in 2014 with their debut self-titled EP, followed by the 2015 freshman full-length Nocturnal Resurrection, then another album in 2018, Ambition's Price. I vividly recall hearing the band back in 2014 or 15 and being captivated by their dynamic sound and gripping aura. It wasn't that they were doing anything amazingly innovative or genre expanding, but they did have a certain freshness and excitement to their music, which I found engaging and made them an immediate personal fave metal act. Fast forward to 2022, and we find Graveshadow releasing a new album, The Uncertain Hour, with a significantly revamped lineup with guitarist William Lloyd Walker as the lone holdout founding member. Counting myself a real fan of what this band has done heretofore, let's take a peek at the new incarnation and tease out what changes and similarities are evident in the new music. The album opens with Soldier of 34, a song that starts subtly then moves into strong riffing supported by furious drumming. The verses have alternations with one line in clean singing followed by another using harsh vocals in a call and response fashion. The chorus is a bit more mid-paced. It's not a bad track, but personally one that didn't really do it for me. Track 2 is Gwynblade, which was the first song released featuring the band's new lineup well over a year ago. The guitars have a nice sound to them on this song, and while the chorus is again a bit restrained for my taste, overall the song is well executed. New singer Rachel Rax Quinn sounds strong and capable here, as she does throughout the album. She's more than a capable replacement who brings her own style while still delivering the classic Graveshadow sound. You get even more of a feel for new vocalist Quinn's approach and prowess on the next one, Sea of Apparitions. This is a nice rollicking track, up-tempo, strong, and bouncy. There's some great riffs hidden in there, and I really like the pre-chorus section that builds the song's energy into the crescendous chorus. An excellent track. The Swordsman, which is also one of the pre-release singles from the album, has a pleasant, cohesive feel. The vocal melody doesn't quite do it for me on this one, but their instrument work and overall composition more than make up for that. This one also features a guest harsh vocal assist by Chelsea Murphy of Prosthetic Records' Dawn of Ouroboros. At this point, it's well worth noting that the growls on the album, excepting on The Swordsman, are all performed by guitarist and keyboardist Aaron Robich, with Quinn retaining the clean singing. This leads to one of the biggest differences in the new incarnation of Graveshadow from the old, having different singers carrying out the harsh and clean vocal duties versus a single performer, as was the case in the past. It's not necessarily worse or better, but it does result in a very different feel to the songs, even on a recording, having distinct persons execute different singing styles instead of a single voice making that tough laryngeal transition. Back to the tracks. Vengeance of Envy is an energetic, mid-paced rocker with an amazing chorus. Quinn's voice really shines here, successfully selling out on her high notes and melding perfectly with the guitars. This one gives me mid-'80s era Judas Priest vibes. The next song, A Beautiful End, really harkens back to the older Graveshadow sound on its riffing and pacing, so much so I wonder if Walker and Robich developed it from ideas unused from a previous album. Regardless, it evokes some positive nostalgia for me. The kit work of new drummer Bones really pulls the track together. Working through the later tracks, The Betrayer has some nice flourishes, including letting the keys show themselves at a bit higher level in the mix. It's another solid rocker. Shadow Battles is another song that for me evokes memories of previous Graveshadow songs. In fact, this track would have been right at home on their debut record. I really like the ability here for the guitars to create some brief fits of sonic frenzy while still keeping a consistent melody rolling. Perhaps the biggest surprise in the album is the penultimate track, The Two Lived, which has a very different feel to it, albeit still recognizably Graveshadow. It's a bit slower tempo, and the clean singing plays more of a support role to the growls, which do most of the heavy lifting. There are hints of Insomnium on this one, a nice change of pace and approach, and I hope they do more of this in the future. The finale is Damsel's Finesse, which at 7 minutes is the longest track in the album and one of my favorites. The keys are fresh and visible, the guitars crisp in their attack, and the singing colorful. I really love the vocal melody on the verses and the build-up to the glorious chorus. An absolute gem of a song and one I'd love to hear the band play live. Given their significant lineup changes over the years, I'm impressed and happy that The Uncertain Hour has retained so much of the magic, that makes Graveshadow one of my favorite bands. Graveshadow's strength has always been more about their song-crafting prowess than technicality, even though they're all certainly gifted musicians. This album met my own high expectations, and so I can only recommend it highly to others. All fans of metal will likely find something to enjoy here, and especially those who love great melodies and are looking for some of the best U.S. power metal has to offer.